Update to it today. Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. He is not widely thought of as a great quarterback prospect. He wasn't even a good college quarterback. In fact, he was on an Alabama offense that completely underwhelmed this past year. We found out yesterday that he accepted an invite from the NFL to be in the green room for the NFL draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin on April 24th. That is round one of the draft. That's when things tip off. Mel Kiper right now currently has him as the fifth best available quarterback, which generally in a bad quarterback class does not end up making it in the first round, likely going to fall into the second round. All of his projections are day two at best, but Milroe accepts the invite to the draft. And adding on to this, Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports said that Milroe impressed at private workouts with the Browns and the Saints. He also met with key people with the Jets and the Steelers at his pro day. That is your Baptist Health Orthopedic Care offseason football report. Jalen Milroe, who has no guarantees of going in the first round, accepted his green room invite to be there on the day of the draft and have the cameras cutting to him every time there is a potentially quarterback-needy team picking. CCAT, Tina, I am curious on your behalf, because we've seen this go the absolute wrong way year after year. The latest example of it would be Will Levis of the Titans now, who we all thought would be a first-rounder coming out of Kentucky. There was all these mock drafts, people projecting him in the late 20s, the early 10s, some of them as high as a top 10 pick. He ends up falling to the second round. He has to sit in that green room, has the camera cutting to him left and right, people making memes about his girlfriend and whatnot. Now he's an NFL player, but certainly didn't work out. You think about the Aaron Rodgerses. You think about the guys like even, not Jordan Love per se. Jalen Milroe accepting this invite is a huge risk. There's a good chance he's the one that continues to fall that we keep getting cutaways to. Does he know something we don't know, or is he taking a gigantic risk of becoming a meme here?
I think he's listening to the wrong people and trusting the wrong people, because I feel like these organizations, they're people. They kind of want to tell you what you want to hear. And if there's an inkling that maybe someone in the 20s or someone in the late 10s might be looking at Milroe at quarterback if he's available, they'll give him that glimmer of hope because that'll make him feel good. And you're not obviously contractually obligated to now draft Jalen Milroe just because you said, yeah, we're thinking about you at 17. The Steelers might be thinking about a quarterback if they stay put where they are, and that's pretty deep in the draft. But you said fifth quarterback available according to Mel Kiper. I can think of three quarterbacks. I can't think of four. Who's the fourth guy? Jackson Dart's probably the third best quarterback available. Yeah. Shedeur Sanders probably second. Cam Ward probably first. And I'm trying to find
Dylan Gabriel.
Wow, I haven't heard his name attached to any organization when it came to draft season. I know we're a little bit far out, but for a guy that led that Oregon team to a record offensive output performance in their first year in the Big Ten, I haven't heard any buzz from him.
Oh, you know what? Actually, it's Louisville quarterback, Tyler Show. That's who's at 4 for him. So he has Cam Ward, obviously 1, Shedeur 2, Jackson Dart 3, Tyler Show from Louisville 4, then Jalen Milroe, Will Howard, Quinn Ewers, and Dylan Gabriel behind Milroe. Even still, not necessarily a projected first-round pick. Would you risk it? Would you risk it if you're – because I think about both sides of it. Number one, what do you have to gain from this? If you are picked in the first round, you do get to have the moment on stage in person at the draft with the commissioner, dapping him up. You do get to celebrate with the select family and friends that come with you. You get that moment that is going to be cherished for the rest of your life.
That's what you dream about when you go to Alabama and play quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, that's the moment that you're waiting for to welcome you to the league, is being on stage, shaking the hand, getting the jersey.
The flip side of that is if you don't get drafted in the first round, you become that guy. The question, though, for me is, like, on the outside looking in, I'm not sure if that's even that detrimental to Jalen Milroe, because I expected him not to get drafted in the first round either way. Like, I'm not making fun of this guy or laughing if he doesn't. I'd more so be laughing at a team if they picked him in the top 15 or so. Like, do you take this risk? Me personally, I kind of am starting to come on the side of the fence of, even if I don't have the promise of it, I might take that invite from the NFL if they extend it, just because it is an incredible moment to just punt away.
You don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss that. Tina, if you have a chance, you can either select to watch from home because you don't know for sure if you'll get drafted in the first round, or you can take the invite to the green room, be in person, and be waiting on bated breath with a live camera in front of you the whole time, hoping your name gets called. Which one are you going with?
I am so torn. I'm just going back and forth of, like, I wouldn't want to put myself to, like, possibly be embarrassed.
Yeah.
But I also will never get this opportunity again to attend. So what would I do? And you could be like that meme, but then be a story of like, he waited so long, then was picked, and he becomes like one of the greatest. Like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Or he's the meme and everyone
Lamar
laughs
Jackson.
at him. Exactly. I think of Lamar Jackson.
Fuel to the fire.
So who?
Fuel to the fire.
Fuel to the fire.
Chip
Right,
on your shoulder. Now you have something else to motivate you. But that's thinking in the macro. That's thinking about something to fool you during a training camp months from now. But that'll hurt that night.
Oh, yeah.
That week. You'll be the joke, the butt of the joke.
He's 2 seasons as a Bama quarterback, both of them underwhelming. Ran the ball well, never really felt like a consistent thrower of the football, and Bama's littered with good receivers and whatnot, and it just seemed like he was the one holding them back time after time.
Yeah, he was thought about getting benched. Like, there was serious talks about that early last season about how poor that Alabama offense was. And how many points did they score against Oklahoma with college football playoff chances on the line? They scored like 7 points or 3 points. They got destroyed by the Sooners.
I'm starting to think he knows something, man. I think there's a team that's willing to take either the late first rounder, maybe even trade back in to have him as a project to work on, or maybe a second-round pick. But here's the question. If I had to ask you today, C-Cat, out of this class, outside of Cam Ward, this quarterback, outside of Cam Ward, is a 4 or 5-time Pro Bowler over the next 10 years and has a strong NFL career, like becomes one of the top guys, I don't see out of Jackson Dart, out of Dylan Gabriel, out of Quinn Ewers, out of even Shedeur Sanders, I don't necessarily see that guy in any of them because the ceiling of them is not that great. At least with Jalen Milroe, you can say hell of an athlete, great runner. He can set the bar. Like, the dual threat guys seem to have a very high floor, sometimes low ceiling. I can see maybe a team making something work with him.
And they beat Georgia. They laid a whooping on Georgia this season. And then Georgia later whooping on them back. But Alabama did prevail. Ryan Williams, a great receiver. Didn't do anything with him the rest of the season. It's ridiculous.
But just outside of Cam Ward, if there's another guy that's like a perennial Pro Bowler, maybe it's Jalen Milroe. I mean, it's all
drafting
dark
him
throws
where?
At this point.
Drafting him where,
I
though?
would not draft him in the first round. I just couldn't. There's no way.
No.
There's no way. Tina, would you go if you decided? You would. You would go.
I would go.
You got. I want to be on TV a little bit. Might be my
It's
last
an
chance.
opportunity.
I feel like this is a Pittsburgh Steelers draft mistake that is waiting to happen.
They did it with Kenny Pickett.
Yes, they love staying put and taking the best available, not trading up, not using draft capital, not risking overspending on a quarterback, both with draft picks and money. I can see it happening.
If they draft Jalen Milroe, don't pick up Aaron Rodgers, stick with their current quarterback room, to be honest, that's more advantageous to me than taking the risk on Rodgers. You would rather them go get Rodgers.
Yeah, I would.
Oh,
I feel like
man.
you're just setting her up for a 3-year cycle of failure like Rudolph, like Pickett.
Bring in Milroe, sink or swim, and next year you can get a quarterback in the draft if it doesn't work out. Russo and Rizzo